What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Draymond and welcome to Thorium Gaming. So this is our first look at Fallout 76, and after a little bit of screwing around with some settings, a little bit of a false start, and getting some radio chatter from some other players, we're finally getting our first look at the beta. It's going to be some fun, I think. I hope. Well, the servers are up, so we're going to get to check out everything that's going on. Did the character customization. Still trying to figure out some of the controls. I can't get us into third person for some reason, but that's okay. Let's grab our Pip-Boy. Basically going to experience this with you guys as we go along. The Pip-Boy looks a little bit different than everything else. Alright, so Reclamation Day is the first quest, but if we look at the map here, it's a little bit more cartoony than the other ones. Fair bit of stuff to explore. Not really sure how it's supposed to work out in this, but okay. And are we able to change our colors in here? I don't know. Most of this is just going to be all the beta stuff. We don't have any items or anything right now. We haven't even done our special yet. So let's wander through and see what we can do. Big party. So most of this is just going to be me screwing around with a lot of stuff. Subtitles. Where would subtitles be in here? Even if they are. Again, it is the beta, so a lot of this stuff is probably subject to change. So we'll have to see. Most of everything else is set. Have to do a complete control workover at some point, I think. Not seeing anyone around here. Some of the controls are pretty much the same. Well, the doors seem inaccessible. Alright, so it looks pretty good, from all things considered. It looks like there was a heck of a party in 76. Reclamation Day, going back to the surface. A lot of guys using Codsworth's voice. I'm guessing we just gotta follow all this. Looks pretty simplistic. I mean, there's not a whole lot of detail in here just yet. So it could be anything, but we're going to scout around a little bit. Let's see what it says. Alright, so I guess we go outside? So we're pretty much looking at the start of 76, already seeing someone else. It is the beta, so probably nothing that we're going to do is permanent. We did level up, so let's see what we can do here. And I guess it's all based on your stats. I hear some shooting off in the distance, but let's go with some intelligence first. This is a new way to do the perk system. Alright, so this is going to be entirely different as to what we're used to. I'm going to have to figure that out as we go. That's the new perk system.
Sir, I found this holotape on the Overseer's terminal. Need a little listen? Seems you should meet her at her camp, just down the road.
Alright, so that picked it up. Pip-Boy's been completely redesigned.
Direct communication. Because whoever is listening to this had the moxie to try to find out where I've gone. But I'm glad you did. The truth is, I need your help. I've been given a task and I've decided to break protocol and tell you what it is. Because if there's one thing I've learned in these past few years, it's that we need to rely on each other. There were 3 active nuclear silos in Appalachia before the bomb fell. They blew up the world before. We can't let it happen again. So we've got to locate and secure all of the silos. Die trying. Hopefully the former.
Guessing the steel scrap and everything that we pick up is going to be big for the camp system.
Or where to start.
Looks fairly good.
My objective was to go to the nearest population center and assess the situation. I'll set up a camp on the way once I get my bearings. Find me there.
Just like everything else that we do, we're going to be picking up flowers and all that sort of stuff. A lot of little tiny side portions coming out. It's going to be different dealing with other players out here. That's definitely for sure. It's just a first look, so we'll see what we're doing. This challenge system, I think it might be very similar to the achievement systems. Not sure. But my obsessive compulsive portion of my brain trying to collect everything. It's kind of hard to commentate with this when I don't know exactly what's going on at any given moment. The multiplayer aspect is going to take some getting used to. That's for sure. And you're going to see a lot of them around the vault. This area is probably going to be fairly populated. It does look gorgeous, though. This is the maxed out settings on my rig, and I'm not seeing any frame rate tearing or anything like that, so should be fairly good. Okay, so you can mine ores and everything. It doesn't really look as wastelandy as everything else. It definitely feels a lot like Skyrim would. Water effects are amazing. It's a lot coming at you all at once. It does have an MMO-y feel to it. That's even the right way to word things. Looks like radiation behaves just as it did in Fallout 4. It's different seeing a bunch of other people around. I'm going to keep commenting on that because it honestly feels a little bit different. It's going to lead to a lot of surprises. Like the start of every survival game, you collect everything. Colors look pretty decent though. Definitely feels a lot more open. So let's just see here for a sec. We've traveled a significant portion away from the vault, farther than I thought we had. I haven't been able to find a gun of any sort yet. That's fine. Someone was obviously here before us, because that was still open. Does look good. I'm not entirely sure how the perk system works, though. We did level up and get a point in intelligence, which will help us by making us level quicker, assuming intelligence still does the same thing. Well, as far as I can tell, the graphics are great. So we've covered that. The sound sounds a lot more realistic than even Fallout 4 did, and I like the audio quality in there, so we'll see. Doesn't feel as Fallout-y, if that's even a word. There's a lot more life going on around here than we've been led to expect in other games.
Overseer's log, south of Vault 76. I knew this wasn't going to be the Appalachia I remembered, but mutated animals, haywire bots, and no people so far. We have to be ready to rebuild in what I can confirm is hostile territory. Fortunately, Vault Tech was prepared. You see this? A cooking station, the stash box, the workbenches, all built with the camp. You need a home base out there. The construction and assembly mobile platform is designed to give you one. Just add resources, planning, and a little elbow grease. When you move your camp, everything you built is stored, ready to be placed back down in the new area. Use this to establish a foothold whenever you're in unfamiliar territory. I've left my camp behind so you can use it.
So we need 3 leather.
I'm breaking my own advice by not taking it with me. But after seeing Appalachia for myself, I need to make sure every resident of 76 has a safe haven they can start from. I'll make do without it. If it's still standing, the town of Flatwoods is further down this road. Find me there. This is the Overseer. Signing off.
Alright, so it looks like they give you a fairly decent setup, and you build your camp as you would build your settlements. So we created a piece of armor. We'll make a left arm. Well, let's save our leather too. Just for now. Create a weapon. I might as well go with the pipe pistol. And can we upgrade them here? I guess we have to level up to get better receivers and mods? I'm not entirely sure. Well, at least gives us a gun to work with. And we've got a few rounds too. There we go. Alright, so they kind of leave us, I don't know, wild. We'll have to see what's going on, but let's just run through and see what's up. Can we assemble our own camp? Well, let's check the controls, which is actually in that menu. See, the emotes and everything is going to be different. Quick heal is H. Fairly good amount of emotes. Alright, so the VAT system is completely different. So it doesn't work like Fallout's regular VAT system has for the last few games. Because I guess it's multiplayer now, so they've kind of changed that. So first look, it seems really red-washed. I mean, that rat stag's taken off. So let's see if we can favorite these things. It's weird having low special stats like this, like there wasn't any introduction like the other Bethesda games. But it is kind of just a first impression sort of thing, so let's just keep moving on down the road. Now the road looks like it's been blasted out, but that's okay. Loading times on boxes and everything is going to be a little bit different. I didn't really see if there was a enable PvP system or anything like that, so I'm not sure if these guys can actually attack me or anything like that. Kind of ignoring most of what we're picking up and everything until we have a better idea what's going on. So far, it's just been following a disembodied voice. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I mean,
Automated warning to all responders. Mr. Farmhands are out of control. Evacuate civilians and take down those supervisors. Once they're dealt with, you'll have to reboot the server. Again.
alright, so I guess this is one of the events, one of the new...
Overseer's log, town of Flatwoods. My God. There's no one here. The old tavern, the church. People were using them for shelter, but they're gone. Mutations we expected. There's something else. A disease. I was attacked by... Well, it used to be a person. But it had these green, glowing lesions, and its voice. Angry. Tortured. We are one. What? Whatever happened here is beyond anything we expected. And we expected a lot.
Alright, so we're going to keep running through this. I'm not really sure exactly what's going on.
The responders. Looks like they were made of firefighters, police, emergency medical staff. They even have an automated system to teach people about treating water, food, survival. I'm doing my best, and you should too. I know it's work between someone's got to know when this will fight.
Alright, so the events are kind of like a world quest or a group quest from your typical MMO.
Signing off.
Having other Vault 76 survivors around is kind of weird. Doesn't overtly feel like a Fallout game, though. That's the part that's kind of sticking with me.
Overseers, let's call these personal journals. Not an official log, just something for me. The Agricultural Center, one of my first posts with Vault-Tec. I was so excited because I used to come to this same farm when I was a kid. I remember one year at the Autumn Festival, me running through the corn maze, going every which way, Mom and Dad yelling after me to slow down. Wasn't gonna happen. I guess I was always hitting my fast. Couldn't just be a pioneer scout. I had to make troop leader. Couldn't just be a good student. I had to have straight A's. God, I miss those early days. Being a kid. The three of us, our simple life. A simple house. I wonder if it's still standing.
Alright, so it seems like there's a lot of disembodied quest givers and everything. Not really sure how this is going to work out. I am kind of curious how the entire system's going to work. quests are not exactly clearly laid out, so to speak. Not bad, but they're not exactly completely logical, so to speak. It's weird coming into it not having a plan or anything. And there's a slight delay on your controls when you exit or enter a building. I don't know if that's the server trying to catch up or what, but it's a mite bit frustrating. The game looks great. I can't really speak on how it truly feels yet. I haven't really done enough in it to make it to that point. These opening areas, it's definitely hard to go off on your own. I don't know where we're going to set up on our own when we get to the Let's Play. I'm hoping that once I'm done killing this Protectron. It seriously does not feel like a Fallout game. It's the only real way I can describe it. When we get to the Let's Play, we're going to have to be very... There's a glitched Protectron, but again, we are in the beta, so weird things are bound to happen. So let's see, can we set up our camp anywhere? So we can build some wooden foundations. Not really sure. Ah, there we go. See, you can build just like you would a settlement system. It's not a gone Protectron, it's just invisible. I'm really hoping that everything that you put in here comes up with us. One of various things that you can build. Some of them, you'll recognize some of the assets from, say, Fallout 4, but we can't build them. We need to find plans to build objects. So there's a lot of things that are out there. Let's make sure we take the boiled water, just in case. So we're getting a little thirsty and hungry. Oh, we have some purified water. Now the real question is how do we... Can we even bring our camp back up? Seems like you can build a fairly good base once you find all the plans for them. Alright, well we're just going to kind of work around that. Pretty sure wherever you go you can just set up your camp again. It did say anything you build would come along with it, so we'll just have to take it at its word. And there's a Red Rocket truck stop. Again, a lot of the assets, they're fairly consistent in universe. Real thing I'm wondering is how big the community is going to be in and around this. So we found a recipe there, so I'm guessing you can get recipes for cooking items. I'm going to have to look into the camp system a little bit more as we go along. Right now, first impressions aren't too bad. I mean, there's very little direction as opposed to other entries in the series. It's a little strange. Did see another player in here too, though.
Church to the responders for their outpost here, and you're welcome. The responders are on a true mission, you see, helping folks through thick and thin, till the heavens open up again and take us all up anyways. When this all happened, I figured like most it was time. This was the end, but it wasn't, was it? We're still here. At first, I thought it was a mistake. That we was missed, forgotten. Maybe we did some wrongs. Didn't give enough to charity, maybe. Didn't praise his name, even in the worst of times. Maybe thought some things that ought not to have been thought. So I asked how? Why? I fought your wars on Earth. I'm ready to fight them up there by your side. Then in my despair, I saw some survivors raw rat carcass behind a dumpster. You ought to cook that first, I warned them. Seemed obvious. We tried but got sick, they said, covered in their own filth. I realized right then and there that I was being tasked. From then on, I built kitchens, cooked good food, fed anyone who walked up with an empty belly, and I was thankful for my task in life. Thankful.
There's the People's Directory. Where do we go to?
I'll be swept clear away with it. But until then, let's share a home-cooked meal together, all right?
I guess that's just kind of how it works out. It's not going to be a lot of stuff. I do have my voice chat turned off, so... Pretty sure I do anyway. Yes. Doesn't really tell you much about what you're making. Oh, we did level up. So let's take another look at this. Now let's go with Happy Camper. So we can equip these. So you unlock perk cards as you level up and gain more of your stats. Then you can equip them to gain bonuses.
Tonight, we bring you the final chapter of Who Goes There? The Strange Encounter in Flat Woods. In the last episode, Pioneer Scout Red Fisher met a curious girl named Sally while hiding in the dark. But, as it turned out, they weren't alone.
There are other people here? Data has asked us all to document our stories for posterity, you know. Seems like a fine idea. So, hi, I am Kesha McDermott. When the bombs fell, I was in Watoga, coordinating a statewide science fair for that year's high school kids. And the theme was the future of energy. After the bombs,
So it looks like a lot of the items have gotten shuffled around and everything too. It's
searching
a
for
little weird.
fighting off rabid survivors. Oh, it was just a bad time all around. I found a couple of surviving kids from the high school whose parents didn't make it. And we holed up in a house in town for a while. After a bit, I was able to solder the circuitry in an old radio, and we tuned into a broadcast from the responders. Oh, we were overjoyed.
So I guess the responders, which we kind of joined right there, was one of the factions.
And I ran into a group of assholes in the mountains who stole our food and water. I can't tell you how happy I was to find the responders in Flatwoods. Tents for everyone, open kitchens, medical supplies, protection. We were safe. They had a problem, though. Their water
The audio logs are a bit long with everything that you do.
boiling water, but not long enough to leave. So, I
So what's a Tinker's Workbench? That's new.
built a testing
Oh, I guess it's an ammo workbench.
and I will teach folks how to properly boil water. And I did. The world is getting better, but slowly. We need to make sure it doesn't relapse too.
There are definitely a lot more
Time and care, that's all.
individual types of items.
Time, care, and science.
but we're going to have to see. It's hard to really describe the feeling of the game right now. I mean, it feels like a watered down version of things. They've gone so hardcore into the multiplayer aspects that there's not really a well laid out path before you to start. I think that's going to be a common gripe of mine as we go through it, because we are going to do a full Let's Play, but see how it works. Not entirely sure if I'm going to love it or hate it. There's a leather right leg. Definitely take that. And a sturdy right arm, too. It looks like all of our armors and weapons have durability now. So we've got the New Vegas sort of model back. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's not really a good thing. Weapon fragility systems, as was coined by Jim Sterling, they're not the greatest thing in the world. So let's see, can we just move our camp over here somewhere? I think it's going to be rather picky about where your camp can go. These are Red Star Chinese liberators. There's really not as much input to you as to what you're gaining from killing things or doing anything really as there was in Fallout 4. Since that was our most recent foray into the Wastelands, it's going to be kind of the thing that we look at. So let's see if we can find a place to set up our camp. Play around in there a little bit. Oh, it actually costs you money to set up your camp. 5 caps is what it said right there. And I'm guessing that if you fast travel anywhere, it costs you caps. So you're either stuck running or paying for it. That's definitely not cool. Kind of takes away from the whole point of things. I guess it is a decent enough compromise between survival and non-survival playthroughs. Kind of lost my train of thought there because I got attacked by Scorched, which... And that's a beaver. Okay then. Alright, so the economy in this has got to find ways to nickel and dime you too, so people, because it's multiplayer, they don't just go out and about and reset everything on you. Still not too sure how I feel about that. part of the point of the entire Fallout series is to sit back and make your own stories. I'm supposing you could do that with the people around you. I think someone in there is shooting at us. But at the same time, it's always been a single-player experience. One thing I can tell you for sure is I'm not a fan of the new way VATS is being implemented, but again, that's kind of a sacrifice on the altar of multiplayer. So, I'm not really sure if that was their intention, but they're sacrificing a bunch of stuff for the sake of multiplayer that no one really asked for to begin with. Kind of a tough call to say if it's good or bad. This is definitely going to be a longer vid once I do all my editing and everything, but this is our first look into the beta. So we're going to be running around just discovering a bunch of places. See what we can do. This machete is probably going to get burnt out here pretty quick. I'm guessing... Oh, straight up off the bat. Okay, so they're telling you build a stash box at your camp to store your excess items. Open the Pip-Boy, press Z. Let's find a place. It's going to cost us 5 caps, but we have some cash on hand anyway. I'd rather not do it on the road. I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to turn into a lot of... We have to go collect a lot of resources. The worst part about the settlement system manifested here. Alright, so let's see here. Come on, let me enter. Okay, we can transfer. There we go. Shells, floor decor, stash boxes. So now I'm assuming, well, it's straight up It is straight up survival mode for everything else. Ammo has weight. It's not really much difference between anything else. We're going to throw all of our stuff in here. The part that kind of trips me out is that we can't just pack up our camp and go with us. Wait, we had a hatchet? Yeah, it's hard to say. So let's go to weapons up here. Take that hatchet back. We have a fair number of pipe weapons. Now, hopefully stash boxes stay how they are and can't get raided right off the bat. That would kind of suck. We've kind of lost the animation for the stim packs, too. I'm guessing most of your items are going to be crafted, so they've gone really more into the survival aspect of things rather than the open world stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's gorgeous. It is beautiful. But we gotta see exactly what's going on. Like, we can see people on the map. There's a lot of people on the map, in fact. We're all spread out in different areas. So the map kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. I'm not really sure. I'm guessing that down here is probably a dangerous area. Down here is extremely dangerous. There's a nuclear power plant there. But we've already gone a fair bit from the vault, so I'm not sure how the leveling system is going to work. And I'm not sure what the points are for, what we can use them for. We can't just repair. We did level up, though. Now let's open the unopened perk pack. Okay. So that gave us a bunch of cards. Let's up our endurance. Let's go with Lead Belly for right now. That should open up an endurance perk slot. We got Perception 1, Endurance, and Intelligence. So the cards are... It's basically a trading card system. I'm not sure what to do with the spares. Ah, okay. So you take 2 of the first rank and it gives you the second rank. Gotcha. So it works out like that. Now, perk packs, I'm not really sure how we got that one, but maybe it was for all the points we had been storing up. Could be. What I'm guessing is going to end up happening... So there's going to be little communities. It's going to turn into an Ark Survival Evolved sort of community. And you're going to have people trying to control servers and all that sort of stuff. I'm not even really sure if you get to choose your server or what's going on, because I can see a lot of potential for griefing in this. I guess we'll just have to be kind of open to it. Now, I'm even less familiar with West Virginia than I was with Boston. As far as I know, there's no hockey team in Boston. Yes, I am that stereotypically Canadian. I'm hoping a lot of the customization comes back on full release. We're going to be starting the full release when we get to it. We'll look into individual aspects of how the beta feels as we're going along. It just, for the most part, does not feel like a Fallout game right now. It's weird to say that, but it doesn't. It feels more like one of the crafty survival games than it does a Fallout game, which is a little sad. And the Always Online portion is going to be, well, awesome as always. Because you know how that works out in the end. Keep hearing a weird noise. Yeah. And the general lack of NPCs is a bit off. I mean, you've got bad guys to fight, but getting all your quests through holotapes and picking up random pieces of paper seems like a little bit of a cop-out. That sounds like mole rats. There's just nothing that grabs you and pulls you in right off the bat. Which is a shame, because the game is beautiful. Looks great. Sounds are amazing. But I think they've kind of sacrificed a bit too much on the altar of multiplayer. Again, it's just first impressions, and we don't have all that much time in the game yet. But it's automatically on survival mode. Why a mole rat had mentats is beyond me. And it seems like they're trying to use a missed out system or everything for the edge of the loadable area, so people can come and go as they please. Let's see, can we actually build anything? Must be placed on a copper deposit. And fertilizer production produces. It really feels like it's turning into a survival game rather than a Fallout game. Oh, we don't have the plans for turrets yet. It feels more like Ark Survival Evolved than it does a Fallout game, and it just drives me nuts. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and so far, it's not a complete letdown. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's a Fallout game. We got pipe weapons, that's apparent. We got the vault suit. We got everything that looks like it would be part of a Fallout game. It just doesn't feel like a Fallout game. Right from the very beginning, there's very little direction, and it just kind of peters off. It feels like more of a survival game. We're still going to go through it, but can't really explain it better than that. Still going south. So overall, like, just first impressions, it doesn't really feel all that different. We're trying to push a lot, and there's not a lot of time open in the beta. You get 4 hours pretty much every day. I'm hoping that a lot of these issues are addressed before we get to full release. Some of them can't be. We are almost out of 38 ammo. Keeping track of some of these bad guys, the way the combat's set up in this too, is a little hard. Mind you, I've always had problems tracking ghouls, so there is that. Now I'm good not fast traveling. Always have been. I play on survival mode myself, and it's never been an issue. So far we found your typical insects, bugs, dogs, and ghouls, and the scalded? Scorched? Whatever they're called. Alright, so you can actually get settlements. But there feels like there's few enemy types so far. Never would have thought that I would miss the simple, humble bloatfly, but even amongst what we've gone through so far, there's not a whole lot of enemy variation. Okay, so if you want a settlement, you have to claim it, and then other players may initiate PvP by attempting to claim it from you. No, we're not going to attempt to claim it. So if you want a full-blown settlement, it's basically a Fallout-themed Ark. That's actually more than a little disappointing. I'm guessing you could use your camp. See, can we bring our camp over here? I'm not really caring about it right now because it's all good to go when the beta is done. So I assume that's what it'll do. Come on, give me a spot to put the camp. This is more frustrating than anything else, because you may find a good place that you want to set up, but due to how the map looks and everything, you may not be able to set up right there. And that was going to be one of the big things about the camp that really made sense to me. I mean, we still have the caps to do it. Guessing that fence is what's causing us inability to set up camp. This is definitely going to take some getting used to. I'm interested to see if the might be the trees too. Let's find a little spot up here, maybe. Because this is what I was hoping. I was hoping that you could set up your camp somewhere like in here. And then use the buildings and stuff that are already there to add into your defenses. I'm guessing you're going to have to pick a place to go and set up your camp. Now, there's going to be some places that are obviously better than others. The waterways are going to be choked with camps, depending on what server and everything you're on. It's definitely feeling like a survival game more than it's anything else. Let's build a stash here. See if all of our stuff is in it. Now the real question is, can other people get into our stash box? Because if they can, there's really no point in building a stash box. So if you're going to move camp, apparently you have to store everything before you go through with it. You can build a cooking station. A weapon and armor workbench, but you need screws for it. So let's see if we can go... Do you actually have to break down your stuff before you go in there? Not really sure how that's going to work out. Anyway, guys, it's going to be the end of our first look at 76. Can't say I'm entirely impressed to begin with, but maybe things are going to get hammered out, and I'm going to do some more playtime in it and see what we can figure out. So if you like the video, guys, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, be part of our community, possibly join me in here, because we are going to do a Let's Play. Just hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes out. Remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.